Welcome back, y'all, to another reaction video. So let's watch this video. 9 Royal Rumble winners WWE instantly regretted. Let's watch.
9 times WWE instantly regretted the Royal Rumble winner. Edge in 2021. When Edge won the 2021 or the COVID Royal Rumble as some call it, fans were very pleased. Edge's journey back to the world title picture was definitely a WrestleMania-worthy storyline, and Edge vs Roman Reigns would be a welcome main event for WrestleMania 37. But the issue here was that Vince McMahon was fully invested in the idea of a Daniel Bryan vs Reigns feud, and McMahon devoted all resources to the angle following the 2021 Rumble.
Wow.
This put McMahon in a difficult position, and it was almost as if overnight he had regrets about making Edge the 2021 Rumble winner, and he proceeded to go into an alternative direction for the biggest show of the year. Whilst Edge would indeed still be officially the #1 contender for WrestleMania, WWE would add Daniel Bryan to the match. McMahon's infatuation with Bryan in 2021 was a far cry from the days when McMahon believed that Bryan wasn't even a main eventer, as he was now changing the WrestleMania main event plans to incorporate one of his favorite stars. The triple threat match received universal praise from fans, and the singles match between Reigns and Edge would eventually go down at the 2021 Money in the Bank event. Charlotte Flair in 2020. One of the common complaints relating to WWE during Vince McMahon's final few years in charge was that every major decision seemed spontaneous, and the company lacked any long-term storytelling. In 2020, the initial plans for the 2020 Women's Royal Rumble were going to see Shayna Baszler win the match and challenge Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 36. McMahon would change these plans and instead go with Charlotte Flair. This led to confusion amongst fans, as it was unclear where Flair would fit in the title picture at WrestleMania, and WWE creative were also confused, as it was even claimed that the two respective main roster title matches were set for WrestleMania. It's likely that McMahon got cold feet in relation to Baszler, and he opted for the safe choice with Flair. The problem was that McMahon was then tasked with placing Flair in the title match, and he decided to move forward with Flair challenging for the NXT Women's title, which was suddenly being labeled as an equivalent title to the main roster's championships. When it comes to Flair's win, it wasn't necessarily a case that WWE regretted the booking call, it was more of a case that her win created nothing but headaches for the creative team. Lex Luger in 1994. And whilst it was clear that WWE wanted Lex Luger to be the next top babyface in the company, there was always some hesitation in going all the way. At the 1994 Royal Rumble, WWE would decide to have both Luger and Bret Hart win the respective matchup. As a result of this historic booking call, both men would challenge for the WWE Championship in 2 distinct singles matches at WrestleMania 10. Now Luger would fail in his attempt to become WWE Champion at WrestleMania, whilst Hart would be successful and would close out WrestleMania 10 as WWE Champion. But WWE realized in the matter of weeks after WrestleMania that Hart was the right guy to carry the company, and that the Luger experiment was never going to succeed. In hindsight, WWE should have proceeded with the solo Rumble win for Hart, yet there may have been a glimmer of hope that Luger could finally attain the popularity they desired. Shinsuke Nakamura in 2018. Shinsuke Nakamura winning the 2018 Rumble was a huge deal, and it was a sign that WWE were going to push Nakamura heavily as they approached WrestleMania 34. Nakamura vs AJ Styles was a certified dream match for WrestleMania 34, and fans were convinced that the match was destined for the main event slot. However, just weeks after Nakamura's world title win, it became apparent that Roman Reigns vs Brock Lesnar was going to be the main event of the show. It was almost as if WWE wanted Reigns to win the Rumble, but they didn't want to have the crowd to have a negative stance on the victory. This theory was supported by the fact that Nakamura didn't win at WrestleMania, and he never managed to capture the WWE title in his numerous attempts throughout 2018. Rey Mysterio in 2006. There were a lot of staff members backstage in WWE that were fully behind a Rey Mysterio push in 2006. Mysterio was insanely popular, especially with the younger demographic, and a lot of internal people in WWE believed that Mysterio had the tools to be a main event star. The one man that didn't share this belief was Vince McMahon. McMahon didn't believe that Mysterio had the size or stature to be a world champion, and when McMahon reluctantly agreed to have Mysterio win the Royal Rumble, it took literally days for McMahon's regret and resentment to come out via Mysterio's booking. He would often look like a joke, and WWE fans had a tough task in taking him seriously in the role due to this backwards booking. The same can be said for Mysterio's eventual title win. Although Mysterio won the world title at WrestleMania 22, it was against McMahon's vision, so McMahon decided to book Mysterio as if he was a total afterthought. Ronda Rousey in 2022. WWE was
I
under
think
the
his size
impression
should
that
be
fans
even
would be
more
delighted to see Ronda Rousey
kind of looked at, because I would like make him like somewhat of an underdog because he's so tiny. So it's like him being able to pull it off would be, you know, kind of iconic.
return at the 2022 Rumble. Whilst granted,
But
Rousey's
it's
initial pop
Vince,
was
so
impressive, the fans lost interest the moment she began to wrestle, and as her in-ring work had dramatically regressed, and she looked completely lost in the match. Rousey would win the annual matchup, which was heavily bashed by fans, as was seen by many as Sasha Banks' year to finally win the Rumble and challenge for the women's title at WrestleMania. It was also reported that WWE didn't have Rousey's WrestleMania plans locked in, which was baffling, as why on earth would you book a wrestler to win the Rumble if you don't know what their WrestleMania direction is going to be? Rousey's booking was truly bizarre leading up to WrestleMania 38, as it would be hard to tell if she was supposed to be a babyface or a heel, and her eventual WrestleMania match with Charlotte Flair wouldn't be at the level fans expected. A key indicator that WWE regretted going all the way with Rousey in terms of the Rumble win was the fact they booked her to lose at WrestleMania, and it definitely felt like they were making up their creative as they went along. Alberto Del Rio in 2011. John Cena was a firm favorite for the 2011 Royal Rumble win. Fans knew that Cena vs. The Miz was planned for WrestleMania 27's main event months in advance. It therefore came as a somewhat welcome surprise that WWE decided to go with Alberto Del Rio as the eventual winner. Whilst they were high on Del Rio from his initial debut, based on his booking following the win, it was a given that he would be walking out of WrestleMania 27 as world champion, and WWE were evidently still unsure if he was ready to be a main eventer. WWE would also place his eventual world title match against Edge in the opening slot of WrestleMania, which was perhaps a sign that WWE had a lack of faith in the matchup. WWE would rinse and repeat this cycle with Del Rio over and over again, and whilst he would indeed ultimately commit to making Del Rio world champion, he never truly lived up to the heights and expectations that WWE had initially envisioned. Batista in 2014. WWE was sent into utter turmoil following the 2014 Rumble. Not only was a consensus to the Rumble overwhelmingly negative, but CM Punk had walked out of the company, and the heroic babyface Batista, who had been chosen as the winner of the match, would be vilified. WWE fans were set on Daniel Bryan main eventing WrestleMania 30, and whilst they had respect for Batista, they all knew it was Bryan's time in the spotlight. WWE clearly knew they made a fatal mistake, and due to Punk walking out as well as a negative reception to Batista's win, an audible was called and the WrestleMania direction was changed. Batista would still get his world title match, however Bryan would be added to the matchup, and now a new main event of WrestleMania 30 would be a triple threat showdown between Batista, Bryan, and reigning world champion Randy Orton. And Cody Rhodes in 2024. Triple H was put into an incredibly problematic position at the 2024 Rumble. Triple H had heard that The Rock may be available for WrestleMania 40, and if this was indeed the case, Roman Reigns vs. The Rock was set to main event night 2 of the show. However, the game had penciled in a Cody Rhodes Rumble win, and the game was intending Rhodes to finish his story at Mania. Just a matter of days after Rhodes' win, The Rock confirmed his availability to WWE, and his match versus Reigns was now on. This meant that Triple H had given the Rumble win to a wrestler that wasn't even going to be able to fight for the WWE title on the grand stage, and this would no doubt have given him sleepless nights. According to Triple H, he believed that having Rhodes lose the Rumble match would damage him, and he wanted to move forward coming out of that Rumble win. From The Rock's side, his camp believed that the easiest thing to do was to have CM Punk win, but even if Triple H went down that route, it would have led to issues, as Punk was greatly injured at the Rumble and wouldn't have even made it to WrestleMania. WWE would come up with this angle on SmackDown where Rhodes would give away his WrestleMania spot to The Rock. The angle turned into one of the most detested angles in WWE history, and the fans were close to rioting. Due to this, the plans changed and Rhodes vs. Reigns 2 would come back into the picture, whilst The Rock would then turn heel. Whilst this was a WrestleMania
You could tell they
setup
just
like no
changed
other,
some
it
things
created some of the most exciting
going.
television imaginable leading up to WWE's
So crazy.
annual spectacle. But there you have it,
That
folks.
whole
9
thing
times
was just
WWE
crazy.
instantly regretted the Royal Rumble winner. Be sure
Alright,
to
you
leave your comments.
guys, that's gonna do it for this reaction. Make sure to leave some likes and comments down below. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you on the next one. Toodles.